Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to day 9 of this 10 days capacity building program organized by St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, sponsored by Indian Council of Social Science Research, WRC, Mumbai. It's my proud and privilege to introduce to you all our today's speaker, who is none other than Dr. Nishant Jain. He is an accomplished researcher, educator, and informatics expert specializing in health informatics, social network analysis, and public health data systems. He is currently an adjunct instructor at the University of Missouri and serves as a database administrator at the Missouri Cancer Registry and Research Center. Sir is a PhD in health informatics, that is from University of Missouri. He is also Masters in Health Administration and Health Informatics certificate from University of Missouri. He has done his Masters in Biochemistry from University of Missouri. Sir is currently at University of Missouri as an adjunct instructor. His role lies in teaching graduate courses in telehealth and public health informatics. He is also a database administrator expert at Missouri Cancer Registry and Research Center, managing SQL database, data linkages, and submission to CDC and NAACCR. Sir has published research on social network analysis in healthcare, cancer communication, and COVID-19 health equity in journals and conferences such as AMIA, MEDINFO, and Global Health Conference Midwest. Sir has conducted studies on health insurance trends, diabetes self-management, and rare cancer information retrieval using AI and social media analytics. Sir has won several awards. To name few, he is a fellow American Medical Informatics Association 2025, first prize at MUDI-SHI Hackathon 2024, Best Paper Award at Path Conference 2021, multiple posters award at AMIA, MUIDSI, and Cancer Research Conferences. Sir has a professional and technical skills in data analytics, to name few: SQL, R, Python, Tabule, SAS, Microsoft BI. Also, sir is expert in software and databases such as MS SQL Server, Oracle SQL, project management expert in Trello, JIRA, Smartsheets. Sir is also having a professional and technical skill in health information and NPL, that is social media analyst, AI-driven research, registry data modernization. Without further ado, we invite you, sir, to deliver your today's session on usage of AI for continuous research and professional development, and also to deliver your topic on socio-economic impact of future trends in AI and education. Over to you, sir. Participants, let me just tell y'all it's around 2:15 a.m. in USA, and sir is, we are proud, sir, to have you and accept our invitation to deliver your session at our timing. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pudar. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for the glaring introduction. I will first try to share my screen and make sure that you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, and I'm very excited to present today in front of such a lovely audience. This is the title of my talk is leveraging AI for continuous research and professional development and socioeconomic impacts of future trends in AI and education. So And so, welcome to today's session. And I want to welcome everyone. I know it's very late here, but I'm hoping to stay awake. So, also, it's not just late, it's one of the coldest nights here in Columbia, Missouri, which is the flagship campus, University of Missouri. And right now it is, I think it's minus 20 Celsius, minus 20 degrees Celsius. And we've got snowstorms in the past 2 days. So uh, there may be some interruptions. And if there is an interruption, I will try to rejoin because of the lack of internet sometimes during the night. So, so as you know, the title is Leveraging AI for Continuous Research and Professional Development. My name is Dr. Nishan Jain. And in addition to serving as a database manager for the Missouri Cancer Registry, every state in US has a population-based cancer registry, and ours is called Missouri Cancer Registry because we're in the state of Missouri, and we are affiliated directly with the University of Missouri. I also serve as an adjunct instructor at this university for the College of Health Sciences. I have taught classes in telehealth and AI. So over the next 3 hours, we'll explore how AI is reshaping research, driving professional development, and influencing socioeconomic trends in education. Let's embark on this journey together. So with just laying out the session objectives and the roadmap, in our first session, we'll try to understand how AI is transforming research. And by research, my research focuses on health informatics. I will take that as a cue and try to extrapolate and project it to finance, marketing, and engineering so that everyone in the audience can find something to relate to. So we'll analyze socioeconomic impacts and future trends, and we'll have interactive question answer sessions throughout. So there'll be times when there'll be minor interruptions, and we'll probably conduct a poll so that we can engage the audience as much as possible. So with that, let's begin with the first question. And I want everyone to think about, when was the first AI generated text created? Also, it was also the first such AI medical program, actually. So I'm going to present the poll here in a second. So I will put a link in the chat for all of you. And if you respond, we should be able to see this right away. Thank you, everyone, for responding. We'll wait for another 30 seconds or so. Hopefully, everyone is able to open the link and respond. We have 98 participants on this Zoom, and we have approximately 21 votes. So just 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's stop the poll here.
Sir, can you please post the link again? We got disconnected and the chat is not there.
Here you go. So we'll wait a few more seconds, 15 seconds, so that we allow everyone to respond. And as you're responding, you may want to think about which year we are in right now and what are the years represented on this quiz, and try to decipher how many years it has been since the first AI program started interacting or created AI generated text. So I will stop the poll now. And if you're not able to answer, it's all right. I see what's coming in. All right, so the correct answer is 1966, the ELIZA chatbot that mimicked human conversation. So we'll go back to the slides. So that's the correct answer. And it was, ELIZA was one of the earliest chatbots responding like almost like a psychotherapist, it's 1966. So how many years, as you can imagine, it's more than 60 years now that we are now reaping the benefits of the research or innovations at that time. So at this point, I also want to give a little background. So in 1999, I was studying in a institute very close to where you are right now, in Borivali. There was CMC Government Limited, and my first ever training in IT I did there in C# and Fox Pro. And in 1999, I actually did a skit with my fellow students on artificial intelligence. So now we have generative AI and large language models, and we have come so far. So not that far back, it wasn't so long ago that we had relied on endless stacks of paper. Whether we are professors, teachers, doctors, hospitals, we had filing cabinets full of manual records, and even today, many places have that. And then in US especially came the era of digitalization, changing healthcare in remarkable ways. There was an Institute of Medicine report which said that there were a lot of medical errors happening, and everyone got alerted because of that report. And a lot of research and innovation in US in the healthcare field and the medical informatics field was geared towards electronic systems. So machine learning and AI soon followed, helping hospitals to analyze data, predict risks, and even assist in diagnostics. But language remained a major barrier. So computers could crunch numbers, but they struggled to understand medical language. This limits their ability to, it was limiting the ability to fully support healthcare advancements. And then came natural language processing. So that was the breakthrough. NLP seemed like the answer, offering the potential, natural language processing or NLP seemed like the answer, offering the potential for machines to read and understand the language of medicine. But despite rapid advances, early NLP models had their limits. They could only handle very short structured inputs and required vast computational resources. Then in 2017 came the biggest breakthrough. And does anyone know what that was? This model transformed how machines process language. And for the very first time, a model could capture context. The transformer model, which was developed by a team at Google, this model transformed how machines processed language. And for the very first time, a model could capture context. Now, this model transformed how machines process language. And for the very first time, we can understand meaning of whole sentences, even whole paragraphs. This breakthrough transformed the entire field of AI and became the foundation block. The foundation block for generative AI, powering today's large language models, which are now capable of not only understanding language, but generating it and answering questions and even supporting research advancements, whether it be healthcare, finance, engineering, marketing. So to understand how large language models or LLMs work, let's break down some key concepts. The core of transformers is the attention, the core of which enables such models. So to learn the context between the words in sentences, consider a simple sentence like this. So we are going towards attention mechanism now. So attention mechanism in LLMs will focus on words that matter. So allowing you to connect key parts of long, complex sentences. Thus, foundation LLMs are built by reading a massive amount of text. You have to feed massive amount of text for pre-training. Now, the sentences are first broken down into smaller manageable pieces called tokens using the process of tokenization. The tokenized sequence is now becomes our input feature. Now, during the pre-training, the model learns the vast amount of general knowledge by passing the input into a series of transformer blocks by optimizing generic prediction tasks, such as masked language model or fill-in-the-blank exercise prediction tasks such as next sentence prediction, and causal language model understanding context by predicting the next word of a sentence. So pre-training creates those foundational LLMs which can further be trained on specific domains. So you can create fine-tuned models, but fine-tuning enables the model to understand domain-specific questions. So you have the domain-specific new data on top of the foundation LLMs, and you can create a new prediction. But then how do you get it to respond to us accurately? And then you'll see a familiar word that all of you probably know is prompt engineering. So that's where prompt engineering comes in to communicate clearly with the model to get the best response. So you ask the LLM, and such as ChatGPT, and then you get the correct response. But what if the model is asked something it hasn't trained on directly? So that's where few shot learning comes in, and when provided examples guiding it more clearly on how to respond, that's sort of like a few shot learning. So you are giving the LLM tool or the chat GPT, for instance, some sort of example to learn from it a little bit. Or you could ask it a direct question and without giving any examples, and that would just be zero shot. So it doesn't, you are not giving it any cue or any training. So, and there you have it, through some core concepts of large language models with a better understanding of how these models learn, process language, and then respond to us. So we are now one step closer to harnessing the full potential in transforming fields. So with that, I want to take a quick audience engagement poll. So please share what excites you about AI in research. And I will share the poll link shortly here. So the new link has been added in the chat box. And we should be able to see the responses here. Try to add 1 or 2 words only. What excites you about AI in research? Someone said report writing becomes fast. Absolutely. So we'll wait 2 minutes here. Dr. Wazirani said fast results. Dr. Mahar said literature review, fast and correct analysis of data. Literature review becomes simple. Absolutely. So as you can see, this word cloud forming. By the way, this is a tool called Slido, and I'm sure that someone in the past few days has definitely talked about some of these tools. Absolutely. So we have almost 30 votes. We'll wait 15 more seconds. So I just took a snapshot so that we can add it to our presentation right away. So look at this beautiful word cloud, and this will become part of the presentation when I send it to the organizers. So you can all look at what you all said. So, and we'll go through this some of these right away. So let's go back to the presentation mode. So this is what everyone said. Support for beginner researchers, absolutely. ROI and analysis, return on investment, absolutely. Relationship between variables, data analysis is accurate, time and effort saver. The biggest one, it seems like review of literature. Absolutely, vast amount of documents that you can input or you can go through, AI can go through, generative AI can go through. That is its one of the strongest powers. So fast writing, time saving, speed. So the bigger clouds are, the more responses, huge amount of information on the click of the mouse, quick analysis, reading more on previous papers, the ease of doing anything faster, correlations. So wonderful, wonderful responses. So this will become part of our talk here, and we'll proceed further. Thank you very much for participating. So we will start with defining what we mean by continuous research in the era of artificial intelligence, generative AI. Well, traditional research often followed a static one-off approach. Today, AI enables ongoing iterative inquiry where data continuously is analyzed to yield deeper insights. This dynamic methodology allows us to adapt and refine our research questions in real time, leading to richer and more impactful outcomes. So this is actually a book by MIT professor by the name of which McAfee and Brofenson, and when they wrote this book in 2014, they talked about revamping education so that it prepares people for the next economy, instead of the last one, designing new collaborations that pair. They wanted to pair like brute processing power with human ingenuity, and that's what they talked about in this book. And then, of course, embracing policies that would make sense in this radically transformed landscape. So ongoing iterative inquiry fueled by AI, and then we are shifting from some static approach to dynamic methodologies in research, and then the key emphasis on data-driven insights. So like you said, right, everyone said automated literature reviews and data mining. So we are going to delve a little bit into that. Today's researchers can harness AI for automated literature reviews, advanced data mining. Some of the tools have already been covered, as I understand from in earlier sessions. And even machine learning techniques that detect patterns and predict trends. Natural language processing can further enhance our ability to analyze vast amounts of textual data, making research faster and more comprehensive than ever before. So imagine you're a researcher in the past, surrounded by stacks of papers, painstakingly analyzing data manually and waiting days, even weeks for results to materialize. We all know those days, right? And fast forward to today, thanks to AI, research is no longer a slow, linear process. It's a dynamic, ever-evolving cycle where insights are generated in real time. Predictions are made with stunning accuracy, and learning systems can adapt to new information like a self-improving genius, So on one hand, you can do real-time data analysis, and there is a tool called NodeXL, which I will show, where we have used some network analysis in real time on social media, and we'll talk about that a little later. And so back what we had back in the day, you basically were just worried about a highlighter that always ran out of ink right before the important part. But now today we are into real-time data analysis. So that's like the transition we have made. It's a big change. Predictive modeling this is the crystal ball of research. You can foresee outcomes, and it helps us make smart decisions. So in my days, what was adaptive in my classroom? Well, my students are always adapting new excuses. So why they didn't do the homework. Someone says, I am late, my train was late, my bus was late, or I missed the bus, or my dog ate it, So, well, good news. Now AI can predict that your dog's next meal is also going to be your final paper. So they say AI is making learning adaptive. And of course, predictive modeling, if AI is so smart, why can't it predict which of my students is actually paying attention and which one is secretly watching TikToks or Instagram under their desk? So AI is revolutionizing research, sure, but what do teachers want? Like, can it grade 50 essays in under a minute without complaining? Then we are impressed, right? So thinking of AI that just doesn't answer questions, also it learns from them. So that's why adaptive learning systems, and you can see examples in management and healthcare. It's redefining what's possible in fields such as management and health informatics. So the days of waiting are over, and the future of research is now, and AI is leading the way. So in this slide, we will delve into the tools that have transformed research. Today's researchers have harnessed AI for automated literature reviews, data mining, and even machine learning techniques that detect patterns and predict trends. Natural language processing further enhances our ability to analyze vast amounts of textual data, making research faster and more comprehensive than ever before. So we'll look at these one by one. In the first study, Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare Transforming the Practice of Medicine, and I have provided the links here. This review discusses recent breakthroughs in AI applications within healthcare, outlining the roadmap for building effective, reliable, and safe AI systems. So in this paper, one of the there is a small section where there are quotes from technology leaders, and it's pretty interesting to see. Satya Nadella, Chief Executive Officer, Microsoft, said, AI is perhaps the most transformational technology of your time, and healthcare is perhaps AI's most pressing application. Tim Cook, Chief Executive Officer, Apple, said healthcare is a business opportunity. If you look at it, medical health activity is the largest or the second largest component of the economy. Google Health, we think that AI is poised to transform medicine, delivering new assistive technologies that will empower doctors to better serve their patients. Machine learning has dozens of possible application areas, but healthcare stands out as a remarkable opportunity to benefit the people. So this is also a schematic from that same first paper that I talked about, and the references here at the bottom. When you get these slides, you'll be able to click the link. So how do we make AI work for management, research, and AI in education, right? We want to build effective AI systems. It's like designing a great course syllabus. You have to plan, you have to test, you have to refine, and then brace yourself for the chaos of real-world implementation. So here's how this iterative approach can play out in management, research, and AI. You can the first step is to design and develop, right? The brainstorming phase. So example, imagine a university deciding to implement AI-powered grading. They start to identify the pain points. Professors are drowning in essays. Students are wanting faster feedback. And TAs are teaching assistants, mysteriously disappearing during finals week. Because they are also students, so they are also studying for their finals week. But the teaching assistants are also supposed to help the students. AI could help, but first stakeholders, the faculty, the students, the administrators must be engaged. The ethical concerns should be addressed, which we'll touch on later, and the workflow should be understood. So the first step is to design and develop, identify the right problem, stakeholder engagement, understand the context, the end user needs, and in this case, for us, health informatics and medical informatics, clinical workflows, but it can be a teaching or a management workflow. Then what are the ethical implications and experimentation? Then we evaluate and validate. So does this even work? For AI for management research claims safe to predict future leadership trends, but can it actually distinguish a visionary CEO from a caffeine-fueled startup founder who just yells a lot? So researchers must check the statistical validity, failure modes, and whether it's useful beyond making fancy charts. So the big, then diffuse and scale, right? So the big rollout. AI is now grading student essays, but regulatory panic. Does it unfairly favor wordy students? Will a student sue us after AI gives them a B+? So schools must get approvals, train faculty, and most importantly, figure out how to pay for it before putting it into classrooms. So that's why we have the reimbursement and payment. And then the fourth step is to monitor and maintain, which is like, oh no, it's now live. So AI is already in classrooms, but students quickly learn its quirks. If you use the word synergy 5 times, you get an automatic A. So schools must monitor safety, performance, and unexpected behaviors, because the last thing you need is an AI handing out PhDs to anyone who knows how to game the system. In both management research and AI in education, the key takeaway is AI is a tool, not a magic wand. It needs careful planning, testing, and constant monitoring, just like any other good system. Because if there's one thing we've learned is that AI will surprise us and it will not always be what we expect. So these 4 steps are described in this paper here. So this is the second article on that list of 3. And we are going to talk about AI-based consumer health informatics systems, which is like a blueprint for management research and AI in education if you want to do. AI in consumer health informatics is changing the way we manage healthcare. But what if we applied the same logic to management research and AI in education? So let's reimagine these categories. So I used to teach telemedicine last semester. So think of telemedicine here as AI for student support. So telemedicine is nothing but technology to help the patient. Think of it as technology to help the student now. So imagine that an AI helps students to choose courses, answers policy questions, or even explain why they can't submit assignments 3 weeks late. Nice try, Josh, but deadlines exist for a reason. You can have a voice bot chat. So this AI could act as a decision aid and provide student education on academic policies. So that would be something like telemedicine. So then AI for research and learning analytics could be something related to mobile health. You can have AI-driven dashboards for professors tracking student engagement, so sort of like surveillance. Professors always wonder, is anyone actually reading my lecture notes? AI-powered learning analytics can monitor student participation, flag at-risk students, and even predict course success rates. The AI can also tell if students are actually watching the recorded lecture or just playing it on mute while binging on Netflix. So all that can be part of this section here. And then robotics or AI for automation in teaching. So AI grading assistants that handle tedious grading tasks instead of spending weekends deciphering barely legible essays. Students used to write essays and then we had to read their handwriting. Well, all that can go away. So, and it's already going away. AI can read student assignments, grade them, and offer personalized feedback. Think of it like teaching assistant that never needs coffee breaks, just constant updates. So that would be robotics. So although this is an AI-based consumer health informatics system, the same framework can be applied to teaching education management research. So let's look at some of these recent pieces of news. ChatGPT has become the best teammate to these Sydney University students, but is there a limit? So universities are pivoting to incorporate generative AI into academic life without the plagiarism, in the belief it will become an intrinsic part of life and work. And the articles can be found here, the full articles. Tiger brokers adopt DeepSeek. DeepSeek is the new model released by China. So as Tiger broker adopts DeepSeek model as Chinese brokerages funds rush to embrace AI. And then Chipotle in US looks to hire 20,000 new workers with the help of AI. So look at the varied applications from education assistant to finance, and then we have HR. So varied applications right here. So with this, we kind of consider this case study. If you have not heard of Eric Topol, you should definitely look him up. And Dr. Eric Topol is from Scripps Research Institute in California. He had this amazing book that I read, Deep Medicine, How Artificial Intelligence Can Make Healthcare Human Again. I love this title because it touches on the human component, which we forget a lot. Because although there is a lot of AI, what we forget is AI alone is of little use. You're still going to need that human touch. So AI-driven techniques have revolutionized the way scientists interpret complex genetic data. By automating data analysis and uncovering hidden patterns, researchers are not only achieving faster insights, but also bridging multiple disciplines. They can be cross-disciplinary innovations. So this is just one example of how AI is transforming continuous research and opening new frontiers. So in this example, AI tool sees cancer gene signatures in biopsy images. So researchers have used artificial intelligence to predict the activity of thousands of genes in tumors based on routinely collected images of tumor biopsies. Now, this could guide treatment without costly genomic tests. So you see that benefit of AI at the biology or a medicine level, how it impacts finances. So it helps us think through that. And the article can be, whole article can be read here when you click on this link. So with that, I have one audience question. We don't have a poll for this, but I just want you to think. So can chatbots outperform humans on clinical questions? And you can post the answers in chat or just think about it. So Dr. Pawar said no. Dr. Agrawal said no. Maybe for basic diagnosis, no. Well, the answer is going to be yes, and I'll show you how. Absolutely, final decision by humans. Agreed. So, but people have done studies. Can chatbots outperform humans on clinical questions? And the answer is yes. And let's see how. So this is a study comparison that we presented at the American Medical Informatics Symposium in the closing keynote in 2024. So first up is neurosurgery. You see, answering a whopping 76% of questions correctly with medical students and even beating medical students and residents. So yes, I see that the answers are no, but what I'm showing actual studies conducted to prove that ChatGPT-4 bot actually perform better than students and residents on medical exam questions. And all these articles will be present. So you will be able to look at them. But I'm just presenting a short summary here. Next is pediatric dentistry, and you see that the pediatric dentist scored the best at 97%, but AI wasn't far behind. It's still at 78%. Open-ended, so now open-ended general dentistry, you see that ChatGPT and comparison with Bard, it looks like AI chatbots are still brushing up on their dental knowledge. So, and then the final round is AI as an educator, so generated educational materials. And you see that it did well in some fields, but not. So for example, it did well in epidemiology, diagnosis, and treatment, but sometimes it dropped the ball on providing complete answers. So it didn't provide complete answers. So which is kind of expected. So who knows? So some of you are absolutely right. Who knows? Maybe one day our AI friends will ace medical exams better than we do. So I just want to show you, like generative AI LLMs. We are talking about education, visualization, COVID-19, CDS, imaging. There are various parameters or various applications you can think about. CDS is clinical decision support systems. So now another audience question. Can chatbot speak and understand other languages well? And let's see if you have any answers about that. Yes, so a lot of people are saying yes, and I'll show you that they're actually not performing that well. So let's see how. So can chatbots speak and understand other languages well? Actually, the answer is no. And I'll show you some research studies next. So chatbots in non-English education, there is a couple of studies that when you see the comparison 51% without knowledge and few shot enhancement. So it didn't do as well. And then there was this paper, which I'll go a little bit into more details, where they compared US, Italian, French, and Indian medical licensing examinations. So what you see is that question length correlated with the performance in the Italian and French examinations. And then questions requiring multiple correct answers posed a greater challenge. So you see, like, this is the Italian response, and it did really well. Chatbot did really well, but it didn't do as well in the French. French is supposed to be a complicated, intertwined language, but you see, it was somewhere between the Italian and the French response for all other languages. So it's not doing as well for other languages, non-English languages. So then I move on to something called global health informatics. So, but then you would be able, the reason we are looking at this study is because in this study, so what do you need for research, right? Involving generative AI. So one of the main thing that you need is data sets. So this study evaluated clinical text data sets for medical artificial intelligence and large language models. It was a systematic review. There are many US data sets for training AI, but what about international ones? And so they looked at 3,962 articles, and 239 NLP challenges were manually screened. 192 unique clinical text datasets were reported to be publicly available. We found that 87 were inaccessible, but 14 were regulated access, and 91 publicly accessible for download and review. Now you can think about what kind of datasets are available for finance and marketing. So this is what distribution regarding what type of data this was. It was overwhelmingly clinical text, and specifically one type of clinical text. In this study, they looked at discharge summaries, what data sets were available. So looking what could be reasonably done in terms of natural language processing task. Mainly this was named as entity recognition, text classification, and event extraction. So what they're looking at is discharge summaries. Of, when the doctor discharges the patient, they generate a discharge summary. They're looking at that, and they're looking at the distribution of what kind of data sets are available all over the world. So if you see, US had 41, and some other countries had, I think it's China, 18, and then you can see the distribution. So one idea would be to look at these publicly available data sets for other domains like engineering, finance. So you can find similar studies in finance also. A study titled, Can GPT Models Be Financial Analysts? It's an evaluation of ChatGPT and GPT-4 and mock CFA exams. Assess the financial reasoning capabilities of ChatGPT and GPT-4. The researchers utilized mock chartered financial CFA exam questions to evaluate the model's performance in the financial analysis. So this study provides an in-depth analysis of the model's strengths and limitations, offering insights into their potential applicability in finance. So I have the link over here. You can definitely look at it. And then you can find similar studies in engineering, right? In this study, ChatGPT versus engineering education assessment, researchers examined how ChatGPT might affect assessments in engineering education. By analyzing ChatGPT's responses to existing assessment prompts, the study provided insights into the ChatGPT's potential role in educational settings and its impact on evaluating engineering competencies. You can think about similar for marketing. I read a paper on marketing where ChatGPT applications in marketing to enhance online marketing and promotion for micro, small, and medium enterprises, also known as MSMEs. The study concluded that ChatGPT offers exciting opportunities for MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises to reach potential customers, improve customer interactions, and optimize marketing efforts. So with this, we have covered, like I wanted to show you, like we went to global health. And so then one of the important aspects that we discussed in the earlier slides was predictive the predictive ability of generative AI, right? But how can you have a prediction framework for interoperability and reproducibility when there are so many studies out there? This is a very early stage of AI applicability research. So what we in the American Medical Informatics Symposium, what we presented is basic. Although this is clinical, what we looked at, but you can easily apply it across finance, marketing, and engineering. So imagine you're building a high-tech AI detective, but this time you're working in finance, marketing, and engineering. The objective is to set the mission first. So healthcare. So healthcare, we are predicting patient risks. What is the prediction goal? It could be disease progression or treatment outcome. In finance, it could be forecasting stock prices, detecting fraudulent transactions. Anything could be a prediction goal, or assessing the credit risk. In marketing, it could be predicting customer behavior, identifying trends, and personalizing ads. Now, engineering, you want to, maybe your goal is optimizing system designs, predicting failures in machinery, or automating the processes. So each field will have a different prediction goal, but all rely on this AI detective to uncover patterns and insights. So from a data standpoint, what are the gathering clues, right? So for healthcare, it may be patient records, lab results, or clinical trial data. For finance, it may be market trends, again, customer transactions, economic indicators. For marketing, it may be social media trends. We'll look at a study later. Purchase history, it may be, or customer interactions. Again, engineering, you can have sensor data, you can have performance logs, environmental conditions, whether it's tracking stock market movements, understanding consumer habits, or monitoring machinery. Data is the lifeblood, right, of AI detectives in every industry. So modeling, then comes modeling, training the AI investigators. So in healthcare, you can use machine learning to classify diseases. You can recommend treatments or predict the patient deterioration, or how bad they might do based on prior cases of similar kind. Then in finance, you can leverage deep learning for algorithmic trading. Again, fraud and risk detection, fraud or risk or detection or risk assessment. And in marketing, you can employ natural language processing to analyze customer sentiment, chatbots for customer service of that kind. And then for engineering, you can think of predictive maintenance models to prevent equipment failure, optimize some design through simulations. So each AI detective chooses its model type, whether it can be supervised, unsupervised, or reinforcement learning based on its industry needs. And then it comes performance. So performance evaluates, in finance, you could evaluate precision, again, in forecasting accuracy, or healthcare can check accuracy in predicting diseases, or how effective the treatment was. Engineering can validate maintenance success, efficiency improvements. So no matter what the field, right, then you can check for accuracy, recall, and precision, which are the performance metrics. So this provides, although it's clinical that we had looked at, but this provides a framework for any kind of AI that you may want to model. So then we provided this framework at the American Medical Informatics Conference. I'm just sitting at the closing keynote there. And basically, this is like a model factory ensuring reproducibility. So there are so many people are studying and coming up with new and new AI models. How do you find some reproducibility? So this is just building a framework and a model for that. So the step one is, of course, the raw material, the data sets, like we saw in the earlier slide. And like we said, it could be stock market trends, patient records. For healthcare or marketing, can be customer purchase history. So that is the data set. And then the step two is to building the machine learning model. So the model generation. And so it's basically time to train the AI model using machine learning. So it could be a predictive model, it could be a fraud detection system in finance, it could be a recommendation engine predicting customer behavior, or it could be a predictive maintenance model that prevents some breakdown, from an engineering standpoint. So standardizing the blueprint, and then what we are doing is we have made a predictive model markup language, because it converts a model into a universal format that can be shared and understood by different systems. So this is like turning a secret recipe into a standard cookbook format so anyone can use it. And then you add metadata, AMP extensions. So to make the model even more useful, we will add metadata, extra information about the data set, the development process, and evaluation. So think of it as adding detailed labels on a machine part, or as an ingredient list on a food package. And then we have step 5 is the quality, evaluating the model quality. And so no factory product leaves without strict quality control, right? So the AMP evaluates the reproducibility checklist to make sure the AI model is valid, fair, and accurate. So for finance, it may be, is the fraud detection system reliable? For marketing, does the ad recommendation system perform well? Will the predictive maintenance model catch all potential failures? And then finally, we have the compliance report. So it's like a final quality assurance certificate. The models that pass with high scores are ready to be deployed in the hospitals or the banks or the marketing campaigns or engineering systems wherever applicable. So the AI model factory works for every industry, whether you're detecting diseases, spotting fraud, or optimizing your marketing efforts or preventing machine failures. So would you trust an AI detective that can't be tested? Neither would we. So that's why AMP keeps AI honest no matter what the industry. So which industry do you think needs the most rigorous AI quality checks? That's an audience question. Not seeing any responses. I hope I have not lost you. Yes, every industry. The answer is every industry. So we'll continue. How are we doing on time, Dr. Podar?
Yes, sir. 3:30 we have a break.
Okay.
So we can take it around 3:20, 25 if you want.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll just complete two or three of these slides and then we are into the next section.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we looked at this model. Basically, what we are trying to do is, like there are so many languages in the world, and say Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati from India. From the Europe, you'd say Spanish, German. But ultimately, it seems like English has become the standard language in many places. So you have the standard language where everyone can interact. So that's what we are basically doing here. We are creating a framework and an AMP for model reproducibility. That's what we are doing in a simple language, if you want to understand. So I've already talked about these various fields already. I've touched upon some of these, and then we are going into machine learning and predictive modeling. So these are the several publications that we kind of thought were really awesome in the year 2024 from a medical informatics standpoint. And you will see that even though it is medical, you see the readmission in a hospital, right? It's a cost factor, because if a patient needs to be readmitted to a hospital, that increases the cost for everyone. It may increase the revenue for the hospital, but it increases the cost for the patient. So how these medical modalities will transform into finance or marketing. So this is the same papers, but we've just compared various things, right? And you can kind of think about each of these from a financial or a marketing standpoint. So you're basically trying to predict the future in healthcare, finance, marketing, engineering. So AI is predicting ICU glucose levels here in sepsis mortality, sepsis, sepsis is a very common reason for mortality, for death. I have known in my own family and extended families where suddenly somebody dies due to sepsis. So, opioid overdoses, kidney failure. Uh, so, this helps doctors intervene early and save lives. Finance. So, just like in healthcare, AI can also predict stock crashes, loan defaults, fraud using historical transactions and behavioral analytics is the similar way. In marketing, it may be AI predicting which customers will churn or which ads will go viral, right? Marketing teams are using similar models to target the right people at the right time. So basically, this is just prediction in that similar way. And engineering, AI does not, and you see the various models that are used here. So these are some underlying models that are used. We'll not go into details, but some of these terms are good to know, like all the AUROC, how these are. Yes, absolutely. So how does this work, right? First is like the data ingestion side, right? You have to feed the patient records or the stock trends. So in this case, the data is medical, but you can think of stock trends, customer habits, or sensor logs. All that will be your data, and then you will create smart models of some sort in each of those fields, and there'll be actionable insights. So prediction isn't magic, it's AI at work. So, so in that American Medical Informatics conference, it's a large conference. We presented a lot of these survey and review of more than 300 top papers in this field, and all those are represented here. So now you can think of a similar network for your own field. It could be finance, it could be marketing, business, and you could start with Gen AI or large language models and think about all the various ways you can connect the dots. And you will have a similar diagram for each of your marketing, finance, engineering, or whatever subfields that you may think of. So hope that helps to think through that. So with that, we are actually ready for the next section, but we'll keep this poll for later. And can we take the break now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can take a break.
Thank you.
Participants will all get connected at 3:20. And just to tell you all, tomorrow the test would be at around 4:30, everyone. The speaker will finish the session by 4:30. So we can just take a quick break of 5 minutes. So around 4:35, 40, we will be having the test tomorrow for half an hour. Then 5:10, we will start with the validatory session.
It's not audible.
Ma'am, we are on break. Nishant sir, if we can stop sharing your screen, so they will understand it's a break going on. Yeah, thank you, sir. Ma'am, it's a break going on now.
If you're back from the break, I have a poll question for you to start. So I hope everyone is back. And so in the first session, we try to understand AI's role in continuous research. So I just wanted to highlight in green, so that is one we just completed. And now we are moving on to kind of analyzing socio-economic impacts and future trends, especially in teaching. So that's what we want to look at. So to begin, we have a quick poll, and I'm going to put that in the chat quickly. So the question is, what excites you about AI in education? And this is a ranking poll question. So in other words, it is going to rank, you're supposed to rank in the order. So here is the link. So rank in which order, what excites you about AI in education. Select your favorite item first and then so on. So select your least favorite item in the end. So the order in which you select will decide the rank. And we will see it live here. So hope everyone able to access the link and is able to participate. What excites you about AI in education? And what do you like most? So the AI can grade papers, personalized learning plans. Students might actually enjoy doing their homework, maybe. So we are seeing the ranking in real time as you are selecting the options. Looks like grading papers is the most popular right now. And everybody wants to say goodbye to the red ink and late nights grading. A lot of people want to clone themselves. That's good to know. And the least favorite seems to be someone who doesn't call in sick on Mondays. That's surprising. But yes, grading automatically seems like very popular. So hopefully that these options are making you think about uh, what are the possibilities in AI education already. And we'll keep the poll on just for a few more seconds so we can take a quick snapshot of what your response was and add it to our slides. So looks like we are very close to 35 votes. We'll stop the polling here. Sorry if you missed it, but we'll look at the interaction here. So it looks like grading papers, saying goodbye to red ink and late nights is the most popular. So we're going to take a snapshot of this and add it to our slides. So what excites you most about AI in education? And the audience said, grading papers and personalized learning plans. So really happy to see personalized learning plans, because that is something a very wonderful use of AI, as we will see in the future slides. So proceeding further. So I know that the earlier part of the talk was very technical, because you need a sound basic foundations. And if it was too fast for you or it was too complex for you, you'll have the slides. You can go back and look at it. I'll also share my notes pages, so you can read about it. It is important to set up a good foundation, so then we can talk about applications and how to manipulate or use AI. So here in this section, we are going to discuss economic impact of generative AI on education. And to many people, that can mean exploring productivity, costs, and opportunities in the educational sector. So generative AI refers to artificial intelligence capable of creating content, text, images, code, and more. So it's not just generating text. You can also generate image. You can, if you're a software developer, you can learn coding, or you can enhance your coding skills. And then there is relevance to education because it enhances personalized learning. It can automate administrative tasks, and it can transform also content creation. So you can picture, just imagine like a struggling math student who receives like real-time AI generated practice problems tailored to their weaknesses. Yeah, we've already seen platforms like Khan Academy, AI Tutor already making this possible. And then the economic scope, right? So AI in education is expected to grow significantly. It will influence productivity and institutional costs, perhaps, because you can think about generating study guides, quizzes. So from an economic perspective, the adoption of AI in education is projected to boost productivity by 30 to 50%, and potentially cutting costs for institutions while making high quality learning more accessible. So, like I said, automating administrative tasks, right? Cost reductions. For example, grading tasks become simpler. Like, for example, in Los Angeles district, recently teachers spent 10 to 15 hours a week grading assignments. And now AI-powered grading tools like Turnitin, AI-driven assessment system, they reduce the workload significantly. So they're allowing the teachers to focus on personalized instruction. So a lot of people think, oh, it's going to take away my job, but it's not that. It's a little bit of more fine nuance. When you take away the administrative side for the teacher, the teacher's value lies in what you as a person, as a teacher, bring to the table. What happens is when tasks like grading keep you preoccupied, make you have late nights, then you are more tired and you are more. So the hope is that with AI, say if you are able to use as chatbot assistants, like in Georgia State University recently, they implemented chatbot assistants also. So if you are able to reduce your administrative tasks, then you can give your bigger full attention to the student, focus more on you can focus more one-on-one personality, and all the other valuable things that you bring to the table. So we almost find like had lack of time for that. And hopefully with generative AI, you will be able to generate more time for those kind of things. So Georgia State implemented chatbot assistants to handle administrative inquiries, for example. This reduced the need for additional This reduced the need for additional administrative staff while ensuring that students were receiving 24/7 support, and apparently saved the university millions of dollars annually. And then also, from an increased productivity standpoint, teachers and administrator can focus, like I said, on core educational tasks rather than repetitive duties. Whatever is repetitive, you can potentially take away. So new market opportunities have been created because AI-powered educational tools and platforms open these also new revenue streams for educational tech companies, like you must have heard of Udemy and other companies. So this is an example from Georgia State University, where they did the chatbot launch, and Georgia State University was awarded on October 8, 2024, a $7.6 million grant from the US Department of Education. Of course, lots of things happening in the United States. We don't know which direction things go, but looks like this was awarded in October, just to show you the value. And then they launched chatbots in 3 gateway math courses critical for student success: pre-calculus, elementary, statistics, and quantitative reasoning. And more than 1,000 students in 23 sections will participate in the study in this fall alone. So this is like a grant that I wanted to show you, like the importance. So the economic value in higher education, AI implementation in universities is projected to increase productivity by 0.5 to 3.4% each annually. AI-generated learning content can cut educational material costs by 30 to 50%. AI-assisted research accelerates academic discoveries and benefiting both academic institutions and industry. So this link, this report by McKinsey sort of is a very good resource, and you can click on the link here and read more details. But if you don't necessarily want to think, you may say, this is education, why am I thinking economic? You can remove the economic if you want, and just think of the value of AI per se. So this is an example from a university where Scotty says these are personal experiences of professors. This is Richard Shines. He's from the Carnegie Mellon University, and Scotty began developing materials for a workshop titled Python for All: Democratizing Coding Mastery with AI Chatbot Support. So you see the value. She chose Python as the coding language for the workshop because it's an open source. And then unlike MATLAB, a widely used computing platform that includes its own proprietary coding language. And then Richard Shines, the dean, compared the hesitation. So a lot of people are hesitant to embrace AI in education, right? He kind of compared this to 60 years ago when we were unwilling to adopt usage of the calculator. So many of us were not alive at that time, so we don't probably even understand or know. So what they were saying at that time. So calculators, by having calculators, no one will be able to add or subtract now, which is, as you can see, is a standard feature, whether you want it or not, on 6 billion cell phones throughout the planet. So this is the articles are here for if you wanted to read those detailed articles. But that is the value of AI, even if you didn't want to think of it from an economic standpoint. So the impact on educators and workforce, you can think of this as like a Bollywood example. I'm a big Bollywood fan. One of my favorite movies is Three Idiots, where Amir Khan's character, Rancho, he challenges the traditional education system by promoting conceptual learning. If you remember, if anybody's seen that movie, Amir Khan in that movie is promoting conceptual learning over rote memorization. So now imagine if Rancho has generative AI at his disposal. So I've just kind of, generated this from ChatGPT actually. So image, and you see that some teaching and administrative roles may be automated, just like, there was a character called Virus, which the strict principal in this movie, and he was always worried about change in the teaching methods. Now, some educators are similarly scared about AI. Oh, will AI replace me? But instead of replacing the teachers, AI is going to act like Chatur. The Chatur, it was one of the characters, if you might remember. And So basically, Chatur like assistant is going to be there who will be helping with routine tasks while leaving room for creative and critical thinking for humans. So you know how Chatur was very good at memorizing. So it's something like that. So the job displacement concerns hopefully are thought of it in that manner. And then the reskilling needs, right? The educators have to adapt to this AI integrated teaching environment. So just like in that movie, Farhan and Raju had to unlearn the traditional pressures and follow their true passions. Today's educators must adapt to AI driven tools to enhance their teaching rather than fear them. AI can co teach with professors, making lessons more interactive and personalized. And then workforce transformation, right? AI changes the nature of the work. With every new thing, you require new policies and training programs. So, overall, the moral of the story is that AI is just like Rancho. It doesn't replace good teachers, but helps them focus on inspiring the students and transforming the education for the better. So, for this financial benefits of educational institutions, you can think about. So I don't know how many. Hopefully, many of you have seen this movie, Iron Man. Iron Man, where Tony Stark he runs a university. So imagine if he's running a university instead of Stark Industries. Would he waste millions on manual paperwork, outdated teaching methods, and slow administrative processes? No way. He'll bring in AI to make things efficient and profitable, just like how AI is transforming educational institutions today. So AI can help you reduce operating costs, uh, just like Jarvis. In that movie, it automates Tony's entire lab. Universities are now using AI to automate HR, IT support, and student inquiries. Not everything, whatever is repetitive, whatever can be taken away so that but we can focus on the more face-to-face interactions. Instead of paying huge salaries for repetitive tasks, institutions like Georgia State University are saving millions by using AI-powered chatbots to answer student queries instantly. And then there are new revenue models coming up with, you have AI-based certification programs. So you could have approved certification in AI or robotics, and it's already happening with platforms like Coursera, Udacity, where universities are offering online AI generated courses, opening new revenue streams beyond traditional classroom learning. So, and then the third is massive cost savings. Remember that when in Iron Man, when Tony built an entire Iron Man suit from yes, LinkedIn Learning, yes, Dr. Mukherjee said, and so when in Iron Man, when Tony built an entire Iron Man suit from the scraps in a cave, so sort of that is the level of efficiency AI brings to education. Schools can use AI for grading, scheduling. Very good, very good. Yes. So good servant, but a bad master. Absolutely. So we don't want it to become our master. So schools using AI for grading, scheduling, and content creation can save millions, just like Stark cutting down costs on manual work by letting the Jarvis handle the heavy lifting. So we want to let the AI system handle the heavy lifting. So what's the takeaways? AI in education is like Iron Man's tech. It can make institutions smarter, faster, and richer while freeing up resources for more innovation and impact. So are universities ready to suit up for this AI revolution? Absolutely, yeah. You cannot replace a teacher's interaction. If I was a student, I don't want to lose my teacher's the interaction with my teacher. So the other aspect of AI is where you can reduce educational inequality. So imagine you are in a Mumbai local train packed with people from all walks of life. You have a student, you have office goers, you have chaiwalas, all hustling to make their future solid, right? But you still have hurdles, AI is like the bhai of education. It's helping everyone from Dharavi's kids to posh Bandra schools get to the same top class education. So the questions of accessibility. कोई भी पढ़ सकता है, कोई भी पढ़ सकता है AI यूज करके. So just like how Mumbai's dabbawalas deliver food to everyone, चाहे जू का CEO या विरार का स्टूडेंट हो, AI can ensure everyone gets a fair shot at learning. AI powered text to speech tools can help visually impaired students, while translation apps, you know, can help language barriers. So, Marathi, Hindi, even Bombaya. So, then the next aspect is about remote learning from Bombay to the world, right? If you remember the movie Munna Bhai, where Munna Bhai wanted to be a doctor, but he had no admission. Now, आज के ज़माने में मुन्ना आई, which is मुन्ना AI, मुन्ना AI से MBBS तक का knowledge ले सकता है. AI powered platforms like Byju's and Khan Academy let kids from Dharavi to Darjeeling study from the best teachers without needing to sit in big fancy classrooms. Thank you for the comments. So the third aspect is affordable tutoring, cost effective education, right? So पैसा नहीं है फिर भी पढ़ाई कर सकते हैं. AI powered tutoring is like bhai ka. There are free versions of these tools. There are premium versions of these tools. So helping students to get quality education at low cost, no need for expensive coaching classes. Just log into an AI tutor like ChatGPT and you can, there's no need for rote learning. You can understand things, concepts better. So institutions like Coursera, Google's AI for education make world-class learning, So it's Sasta, Sundar and Tikau. So the key takeaway is that in AI in education is like Mumbai's lifeline. चाहे local train हो या AI powered learning, सबको लेके चलता है. So that completes our educational equality. So let's look at some comments here. I'm getting some interesting comments. LinkedIn learning, yes. Absolutely. AI can never replace human interaction. AI is only with the teacher beside, but can never replace a teacher. Absolutely. AI is not that welcomed in labor surplus or a highly populated economy or a country. Yes, this is a very important point, and we'll talk about that. So some of this has to do with the taboo, right? A lot of people still think that that AI is using AI is a taboo. Like I have met with different streams of people. I went to a conference in California. One of the CEOs said, I used AI to generate my calendar. But I have met with people who use AI all the time, but they are very shy or hesitant to say that they are using AI. So AI has a taboo, and we need to be a little more open about this. And training has a big part too. So AI is the brainchild of countries with scarce population and not for us. AI will be responsible for more unemployment. Very, very good comments. Yes. So I see a hand raised.
Yeah. So this is Dr. Lalima.
Yes.
So basically, what I have actually written an article based on AI.
I can barely hear you. Can you speak loudly, please?
So am I audible now? Am I audible now?
Dr. Lalima, you have some query. You have raised your hand.
Am I audible now?
Ma'am, are you speaking? Your voice is very low.
Just a minute.
Go ahead. Or you can put your question in the chat.
Yes.
So for time. So maybe we can leave the questions for later. We can come back to you later. Yeah. So we'll continue with our presentation here. So All right. So AI-driven educational content creation is another one, right? So AI can write textbooks and summaries. There is interactive learning. AI can have generated simulations. There's personalized curriculum. AI can adapt to adapt the content to the students. Now, there is a tool called Scribble AI at MIT, which kind of falls in between here. The professors use this AI to generate real-time customized textbooks. It can pull the latest research and tailor the material to each course needs. Now, in this Scribble, and I have the references here, later you can. So a fast and flexible approach to help doctors to annotate medical scans, for example. Scribble prompt, you can look this up online when you have time. It's an interactive AI framework that can efficiently highlight anatomical structures across different medical scans, assisting medical workers to delineate the regions, to identify the regions of interest and abnormalities. Then there is, just like this, if you have heard of Perplexity AI, it creates very good research summaries. So it's a free tool, you can use it. Just go to Google and type Perplexity AI and it will come up if you have never used it. You can create one-page executive summaries. You can help students. This can help students and researchers to quickly grasp complex topics. There's now ChatGPT in law schools. Some universities use AI to condense legal cases or in easy to understand formats, helping the students to save hours of reading dense legal documents. And interactive learning, AI generated simulations. So Google has this AI powered science lab where students can conduct virtual experiments in chemistry and physics. Somebody talked about chemistry a few chats ago. So students can conduct virtual experiments in the Google AI powered science lab in chemistry and physics using AI simulations. There is no need for expensive lab equipment. AI generated 3D history tours. So if you can look up Time Looper or Chrono Jump, it lets the students experience ancient Rome or the Indus Valley civilization in virtual reality, making history lessons immersive and fun. So AI flights simulators for aviation students. AI has powered simulations, train pilots in real world conditions before they can enter a cockpit, making education safer and more cost effective. Personalized curriculum, AI adapts to students. There is Squirrel AI in China. This AI-powered platform analyzes students' weaknesses and tailors personalized math problems to help the students improve in real time. And then there is Khan Migo by Khan Academy. AI tutors adapt lessons dynamically based on students' responses, just like private tutor, but at scale. Then there is Duolingo Max. AI now creates personalized language learning exercises based on how well a user understands grammar, ensuring faster and learning progress. So this is about content creation, and we move forward. Quickly look at the questions here. No problem, no problem. Understandable. So moving ahead. So the economic risk and challenges, right? I mean, you can take the example of cricket, right? You have just like how you have ball tampering in cricket. People might know about ball tampering. Oh, repeat the tools again. So yeah, this will also be in my notes, and I will make sure that I will also send you the notes. But I'll quickly go back. So definitely look at Perplexity AI, and I will type it here. And then the other tools that I talked about was, say, Time Looper or Chrono Jump. You can look this up. Very interesting tools. So this gives a historic. It'll give you historic tours, 3D tours. And then Duolingo, Max, a lot of people know I talked about that. So I will have these in the notes later as well. So moving ahead, so with every new tools, you have challenges, right? So what are the economic risks and challenges with this? And as you know, everybody is worried about data privacy, right? Why not? I mean, there are security concerns with AI in education as well. It's just like a cricket example. If you see, like there is always ball tampering. They talk about where they modify the ball in a certain way so you can get the advantage. So in AI in education can be also caught mishandling student data. Say, what if universities accidentally leak the personal details? The next thing you know is a student's test scores are public, and which is not allowed by FERPA in USA. So there's a law called FERPA. So there are security concerns, of course. So then there are high implementation costs. Not all institutions can afford AI, right? So it's like you think about again cricket, right? The IPL auction. Not everybody wants Virat Kohli, but not everyone can get Virat Kohli because their budget only allows them to afford, you, you know, someone less popular or less. But so it's like that. AI is costly, so implementation cost can be there. So it's not for everyone. There's a budget, and you have to meet that. And then dependency in AI, where people say potential weakening of critical thinking. So it's like again the cricket analogy, right? You can think of as the DRS, the decision review system that they have. It's great when used wisely, but it can be a disaster if you rely on it too much. So students will stop thinking and just ask AI for answers, just like how a lazy wicketkeeper stops appealing and waits for the DRS to do all the work. Suddenly, we've got a classroom full of cricketers who can't read a ball, but then they expect the Hawkeye to save them. So, just by giving these cricket examples, I want you to understand that there are risks and challenges, of course, and we have to deal with them. So, what about generative AI and student performance, right? So, AI tutoring can boost engagement and learning outcomes. Real-time feedback can reduce dropout rates. Coursera AI Analytics has shown that AI tracks student engagement in online courses, and it can actually nudge the struggling students with additional resources, and thus it can lead to 15% higher course completion rates. Ethical concerns. There are ethical concerns of AI replacing human instructors. Just now we had some comments, right? Like these are real issues. South Korea had introduced AI English tutors, AI powered speaking tutors called Speak Now. These help students, supposed to help students practice pronunciation and grammar. However, studies show that students still need human instructors for social and cultural context, like somebody said in the text just now, right? So this is the MoneyBrain launched AI tutor services Speak Now in 2020, but then they found that although it will help the students practice the pronunciation and the grammar in South Korea, however, the studies are still showing that students need the human instructors, for the social and the cultural context, which is an important part of the language learning. Then further, in a similar vein of thought, there are AI proctored exams. So where the AI can actually monitor the exams automatically. There's a tool called Proctorio, which became popular. So recently, Ohio State changed out of Proctorio for a new proctoring service because AI monitors the student exams, but some of the reports suggested that there is a bias and false flagging. It led to a lot of debates in the university and about whether AI can fairly assess student integrity on its own. And I have put the links of the article so you can read it later. So AI in research and innovation, right? So AI can speed up data analysis by 70%. For example, DeepMind's AlphaFold protein structure prediction AI has solved, where there is lots and lots of data, think about AI, the need for AI, because we cannot potentially it's not humanly possible to sieve through that data and make sense. So some of those fields are listed here. Like, so for example, genomics, proteomics, NASA's space research, cancer research, right? There are so many genes that are being studied, so many molecules being studied. So AI can reduce the analysis time from years to hours. And this breakthrough can speed up drug discovery and disease research. Somebody had just said in the comments. So, and then NASA's AI for space research, it can help process massive data sets from satellites. You can reduce the time needed for climate change studies. Climate change is a big deal now. We have a whole group in American Medical Informatics just dedicated to climate informatics. So, and then there is this whole field of exoplanet discovery. It has reduced time by 60%. In cancer, AI-powered models can scan thousands of medical images. Harvard has found thousands of medical images in minutes, detecting breast cancer 30 times faster than traditional methods, which allows the researchers to analyze vast data sets in record time. So there are also tools out there like Grant GPT here. You can look it up. Some of these are like in the pilot mode. So you may not be able to sign up or download it. You can look at SciNote for electric lab notebook and in lab inventory management. So how these tools help is, like, for example, Grant GPT can cut down your 50% of the time spent in the paperwork for drafting grant proposals. Some institutions reported that when AI-assisted application, when they use the AI-assisted application, it increased their funding approval rates. So that was kind of interesting. So then European Research Council, for example, said that using AI for funding reports, AI helps them summarize and analyze past successful grant applications. So based on the past successful grant application, it can help you write stronger proposals. So, and then MIT has this AI-generated research summaries tool, which can help in summarizing the key scientific breakthroughs. It helps the scientists frame proposals faster and focus on their actual research instead of the bureaucracy. Because as a scientist, we are all focused on the research we want to do. But what we don't realize is that the budget part is as important. The organizing part is probably more important than the actual research. One of my mentors used to say that research is 90% organization. That's all it is. So all that AI can help you with. AI connects researchers for global collaboration. Meta has there's a tool called Meta's Galactica. This helps researchers find papers across disciplines. It suggests related studies instantly, making knowledge sharing faster. IBM has research AI and COVID-19 open research dataset called CORD19. So, which analyzed thousands of global research papers, enabling the scientists across multiple countries to collaborate in record time. So there's all kinds of examples. There are even AI-powered conferences now. And then you can have Semantic Scholar, if you have heard of Semantic Scholar, connected papers. These platforms can analyze research trends and connect the scientists working on similar problems worldwide. This breaks the geographical barriers, and you can have global collaboration. So that is the potential. So the takeaway is that of all this, that AI can accelerate research. It can help you secure the funding, and it can help you foster collaboration. And some of these things can be bottlenecks. If you don't have funding, you cannot do research. If you want to do interdisciplinary work, you have to connect. It's not just about geographical barriers. Even between departments, you need to collaborate. As scientists, we've always thought about being in our silos individual thinking is what matters, and that is absolutely important. But AI can connect us to people who can make our tasks easier and collaborate faster. So what are the future projections for AI in education? They say that by 2030, AI will be widely integrated into education. So, we are looking futuristically. We don't know what happens tomorrow. I mean, there was just a report the other day that a meteor is going to hit the Earth in 2032. So, even getting that information is not easy, and AI is receiving large amounts of data from NASA and able to tell us that. Otherwise, we may not even know. The last I heard, it had a 96 or 97% chance of missing Earth, the meteor. So, anyways, by 2030, AI will be widely integrated into education. AI will automate content creation in e-learning. I'm going to tell you about an IITG preparation example. One of my nephews is studying for IITG, and how we are using AI to help him. AI-driven policies will shape the future of education. So everything new requires policy and ethical considerations, right? So from AI governance standpoint, there is need for regulations. Imagine AI is grading exams. It sounds great, right? But in the UK, an AI algorithm actually downgraded thousands of students' scores unfairly, which led to a lot of public outrage. So the governments are now debating who should regulate AI's power in education to prevent such blunders. Ethical AI use is a huge topic. Somebody just said balancing automation with human oversight. Somebody was saying in the chat, and you're absolutely right. How do you do that? There are proctoring tools, like I was saying, like Proctorio.
सर्वांनी म्हटलंय फार्मसीला कसं बोर्ड तयार केलं ना तसं तयार करून घ्यायचं.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, simulation. Yes, I will definitely share the notes later, so you can definitely read, Dr. Pushpalata. We have some.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So moving forward. So ethical AI use, that's where we were. So balancing automation with human oversight. So there are tools like Proctorio nowadays, we talked about earlier, that are monitoring the students during the online exams. It does sound fair, right? But not always. Many students have reported actually being falsely flagged for cheating. It has sparked all kinds of lawsuits and ethical concerns about AI's bias and lack of human judgment. So because the AIs are trained on whatever has been fed to them, and if that had some inherent bias, the AI can also catch that bias and replicate that when it gives you the response, or when it gives you some sort of feedback or identifies something. So there is always possibility of being false flagging. And then inclusivity, ensuring AI benefits all students equally. So because AI should be for all, right? Not just for only a few privileged people who can afford it. So of course, there'll be all kinds of policies that would be needed, or there are AI tutors. Like in China, there is Squirrel AI, and I spoke about Khan Academy has Khanmigo, which offer personalized learning. Okay, but what about students who don't have internet access, or who don't have devices where AI can work? Nowadays, AI will work even on your phone. So, but the experts are warning of this AI-driven digital divide. Just because we have it, you have it, somebody has it, doesn't mean everybody has it. So there's a whole possibility of this digital divide where privileged students will thrive while others will get left behind. So there's a whole, we need to focus on inclusivity. So there can also be algorithmic bias, and that needs to be talked about. So with that, if you want to conclude this section and some recommendations, right? What have we been doing, right? So at University of Missouri, we have AI lunch and learn sessions. Like I was saying, the taboo for artificial intelligence or generative AI needs to be removed, because it is just like that calculator example I gave in the beginning. Eventually, we are all, like the first time you had a grammar checking feature in a Word document, right? We were all excited to use it. You have to adapt a similar kind of mentality for AI. So you can, just like we have AI lunch and learn, one idea is that you can have AI chai pe charcha, in your schools, where people are meet for half an hour just to discuss AI tools or openly, so that there is no feeling of shyness or feeling of fear of using AI. You need to bring it out in the open. And then, of course, you have to develop ethical policies, right? But at the same time, you can also have some sort of competitions in your universities. We recently had a hackathon where we actually, my team won the first prize. So you can have those kind of collaborative competitions. You can, for teachers, recently I participated in a program at Auburn University where you can get badges every time you become a slightly more expert in a certain aspect of artificial intelligence or generative AI. You get some badges, so you become AI guru. So those aspects can help remove the closetness, of AI use. A lot of student councils are AI student councils are being developed and being involved. Thank you. So AI Student Council, a lot of students form student faculty AI ethics committee have been formed, where they can discuss and shape AI guidelines. Because if teachers want to control students using AI, or they want to show them the correct way to use AI, they need to have it in the policy or in the syllabus. Like I was teaching a class asynchronously, and one of the policies that I put was, feel free to use AI to generate your ideas, but please don't use it to write your final answers. Although I put that policy, it's not very easy to implement it. So it is more like an honor basis right now. So, but you need to have some framework, some guidance for the students in your syllabus, so that they know what you expect out of them. And then you can have some sessions where the students themselves are encouraged to use AI in their assignments. So that helps them get over some of, and you will also learn which students, there may be students who don't want to use AI for some reason. So what do you do about that, right? So there are all those kind of ethical issues. You can have, so the third issue is sustainability. How many people have heard about how much power this AI tools use? So they use a lot of energy, and if we are promoting this more and more people are going to use it, and we are going to have more and more data to be analyzed, and there's going to be all kinds of sustainability issues, because is AI green? I don't think so. But there are low-powered AI solutions. Edge AI, they say you can use Edge AI instead of cloud-based models. So you can partner with eco-friendly tech companies to make AI sustainable. So that's one aspect. AI for education grants and scholarship. You can create grant programs that fund schools in underserved areas to get access to AI-powered learning tools. Now, corporations and universities can collaborate and can provide sponsorship. IBM has been connected to University of Missouri. AI boot camps for students from low-income families. So those are some ideas. conclusions and recommendations. So with this, we are going to move to activity 1, which is what I want everyone to do is we want to decide one Gen AI or advanced tool that you know well. And then think of one person among your friends, family, or social circle who might benefit from it. And then what gaps will this new skill they learn from you fill? So we have a small poll for this, and I'll open it right now. All right, so this is the gap activity. This is called the gap activity. So the first question is decide, and we will observe the results in a word cloud here. So I'll copy paste the link for you. So the question is decide and mention one Gen AI or advanced tool that you know well. And I hope everyone has seen the link in the chat. Yes, I have just sent the link, Dr. Pawar. So decide and mention one Gen AI tool and try to keep it just 1 or 2 words if possible. Decide and mention one Gen AI or advanced tool that you know well. Awesome. So we have 29 votes already. 8 people are typing. So we'll wait for them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Sonal. Thank you very much, Dr. Piyush. So this is beautiful, right? So we can take a snapshot of this as soon as we are done here. 2 people are typing. We'll close the poll in 5 seconds here. So please type your answer quickly. So we'll stop the interaction now. And you see we have 47 votes. And we're going to take a snapshot of this so we can save it in our presentation. So that's your word cloud here. So once you have decided, right, what tool you want to use, now this tool, I'm assuming you are comfortable with, okay? So majority have said ChatGPT, and it's just the spelling is different. So, but you can combine these two, and very happy to see the various. Research Rabbit is one of the Perplexity AI I use a lot. Semantic Scholar, very good. Some of these are I've not even heard of. So Elicit I've heard of. So this is really cool. We will share this with everyone, and I have some chat. Okay, great. So now, once you have thought about this, right, the next thing that we are going to do is, according to this activity, right, think of one person among your friends, family, or social circle who might benefit from it. Okay, and benefit if you teach this tool to them. Okay, and I will start another exercise here shortly. And I will share the link now. So think of one person among your social circle and here is the link. Think of one person among your friends, family, social circle who might benefit from this. It can be anyone, really. So researchers, students, children, my kids, writers, very good. We have 20 votes, 12 people are typing. Absolutely. So some people are also responding in the chat. So 41 votes and 2 are typing. So we had 54 votes. So I'm just going to wait a few more minutes if you want to, few more seconds if you want to type something. And there are some answers in the chat. Done. So we are going to stop this. I see 3 people are still typing, but we'll stop this here. So we have 45 votes, and we see that according to the word cloud, let's take a snapshot of this and add it to our presentation. So the biggest response is students. Definitely students. Absolutely. So we are going to go to our presentation here. So we said that ChatGPT is one of the primary tools that everyone likes to use. And now the next question is, say if ChatGPT is your tool and you want to help your students, teachers, my kids, wife, traveler, staff member, very good, research fellow, entrepreneurs, PhD scholar, publishers, business tycoon, children, any learner, my sister, colleagues, bloggers, nephew, solid. So why are we doing this exercise, right? So we are considering the socioeconomic status, and it can also be a person like, a maid servant that helps you in your house. It can also be someone elderly in your house, like senior citizens. So some of those responses are probably here, maybe worded differently, and so let's move forward. So the next part of that exercise is, so what gaps will this new skill they learn from you fill? And just make sure it's just 1 or 2 words. So we're going to stop that and give you a new one here. What gaps will this new skill will be filled? So this is almost like a gap analysis you can think about. So what gap will this new skill, if you know ChatGPT and if you teach it to your nephew or you teach it to your mother, or your dad or your sister-in-law, how is it going to help them? Because society and economic status, right? So socioeconomic status, socioeconomic of this, it starts from us. So if we know a tool, if we are going to teach to someone in the community, automatically the social and the economic benefits are going to get tied up. So today you don't need to be you don't need to be a PhD scholar. You can start generative AI. You can just teach somebody generative AI and they can do many of the things that a PhD scholar can do, or at least learn. Yeah, some great, very awesome responses here. And we are 26 and 7 people are typing, so we're going to stop this in a few seconds here. Data analysis tools, education level, absolutely. Remote learning, bridge the gap. It'll help generate creative ideas, absolutely. Some smaller ones here, knowledge access. So there are 34 votes and people have stopped typing, so we're going to stop this right here and take a snapshot and add this. So we'll go back to our presentation. I'm just looking at the chat responses. Yeah, thank you very much for all your responses. Or Dr. Amit Hedau has a question. Can a research paper with false positive AI report from Turnitin be submitted to a journal? How a journal looks at false positive AI reports? That's a good question. Yes, we can talk about that in a minute here once we look at these responses. And I've looked at all the. So this is the response you gave. What gaps? So it's going to help you. The biggest is bridging the gap, whatever the gap may be, of course. And then data analysis tools, education level. What is the education level of that person? So it's going to fill that gap. Absolutely. Research on global standards, techno savvy, promote learning, and it'll help generate creative ideas. So these are the bigger ones, but there are also some smaller ones which are not less important, but sometimes the smaller ones are the. So we can look at it later. So let's go back to the exercise. So you have answered the first 3 questions, and then this is not a question we are going to do by polling, but you can just think about what is going to be the socio-economic impact of your training. And I will share some thoughts based on my experience, right? So moving on to this section, right? I'm going to use this section to talk about some of this. So continuous skill acquisition. So recently, one of my friends, they were looking for jobs, but they are in the age group of 55 to 60 years old. And I was able to teach them an AI tool, and they were able to enhance their resumes with CV for applying to jobs. So for professional development, it was very helpful to them. They did not even know that you can enhance your resume and it did a very good job. So enhancing resume. So it's like a continuous skill acquisition in a lifelong learning environment. I'm going to put in the PowerPoint mode. So I'm just having a little trouble with my computer. I'm just going to try to save things and reshare. Give me 1 minute here. So, how are we doing on time, Dr. Podar?
Sir, Dr. Smita here.
Yes, Dr.
Yes,
Smita.
I'm also a part of the organizing team. Yes, sir,
Yes.
our session ends at 5. You still have time to proceed. And the
So
30 minutes more, sir.
we have 30 minutes more. Yes,
Yes,
perfect.
sir.
Yeah. So actually, I am stuck on a slide because my slide is not moving. I may have to just drop off and come back again. So
Sure,
can we
sir,
have
sure.
a 5-minute break here?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can have a 5-minute break.
Thank you. So we'll just disperse for a 5-minute break and be back.
Yes, I'm sharing the feedback link in the chat. Meanwhile, you all can please give your I've shared the feedback link in the chat. Participants, you all can fill the feedback. Further, as informed, tomorrow at around between 4:30 to 4:40, the test would start. We would share the link in the chat for the test. So everyone, please remain connected and you'll have to on your cameras while giving the test tomorrow, followed by the validatory session. We would request 2-3 participants to give your reflections for tomorrow's program. Share your feedback on this 10 days program, how it went. So your valuable suggestions will help us in our future endeavors.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes, Dr.
Sorry, technical issue because I think my computer was overloaded, so slides were not moving. So we are back now. So we just saw that you all answered that what gaps this new skill they have learned from you will fill, and then you can think about the socioeconomic impact. And I'm going to help you think through that. So, like I was saying, I helped a friend in their 50s to search for a job, and as a part of that, I taught them how to use AI to enhance your resume. And somebody asked, what tool is good for resume and CV. I'm sure there are specific ones out there, but you can use ChatGPT also. That's what I taught her. So, and then the personalized learning experiences, right? I have a nephew who's studying for IIT-G. What we used is you are able to use ChatGPT to generate prompts so that you can prepare on a topic basis. So you can prepare on weekly topics for physics, chemistry, maths. You can ask ChatGPT to generate moderately complex or very complicated questions at IIT-G level, and we have been helping him to prepare for the exam. And it's not very hard to do that. You can teach the parents, so the parents can get involved in the training and the learning as they prepare for exams. And I'm just giving IIT examples, but you can think of any other exams that you or your kids are wanting to learn. Then I have a mother who is a small business entrepreneur, and she's in her 60s, and I was able to help her to learn ChatGPT to draft emails, to make marketing materials and contents. I was able to help my sister-in-law. So everybody has different personalized learning experiences depending on where they are. You start from where they are and then go from there. So you can address the skill gaps based on wherever you are. So we focus on personalized learning platforms powered by AI. Adaptive learning systems can now tailor educational content to each individual's strengths, weaknesses, and pace, providing real-time feedback and comprehensive performance tracking as well. Tools such as AI tutors and virtual mentors. So another thing that you can think of is it's not just AI alone. You can use it in combination with the other tools you know. So for one of the assignments I helped with my nephew, what we did is, if you have heard of a tool called Trello, so Trello helps you just keep track of your tasks. So you can generate a list of tasks just by copy pasting a list, and then you do like a Kanban style board. Kanban is like a way you do things, right? So you can have a to-do list, you can have things in progress, and then you can have things done. So the AI generated questions can become that list where my nephew is solving or checking the questions that he's already done. So you can help them keep track and get feedback and performance. You can add other people on the Trello board, so the family or the teachers, and then accordingly, so the student does not feel alone. In today's competitive environment, the students have to go through a lot to learn, and you can, by letting them know that they are not alone. There's
कोई बताया नहीं, उन्होंने बताया कि हल्का तुरंत एक्शन में आओ इमीडिएटली.
Sorry, looks like somebody has a question.
हाँ मैं बताऊंगा आपको, वहाँ पहुँच के बताऊंगा आपको, है ना. हाँ 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 हाँ.
Okay, so going ahead. So you can think of AI as a disruptor versus an enabler. It plays a dual role in our society. It can act as a disruptor or it can act as an enabler. On one hand, there is this risk of job displacement and the potential for increased inequality if the benefits of AI are not distributed evenly. On the other hand, AI can enhance access to quality education through personalized learning experiences like I was just talking about. So you can think, and then AI is a new tool, so it has growing pains. Like with any other tool, you will have to eventually learn how to balance innovation with equity. That's the key challenge. The two forces are driving so that we can have inclusive growth, how to include everyone as we grow. So what are the future scenarios and policy implications? As we peer into the future, several scenarios emerge regarding the integration of AI in education. And over the next decade, we expect to see a deeper penetration of AI in research and learning environments. However, to harness these benefits, policymakers must implement strategies such as digital literacy programs. A digital literacy program or an AI literacy program could be as simple as Chai Pe Charcha or lunch and learn, those kind of activities in the institutes. Then we need to encourage collaboration among government, academia, and industry to mitigate the risk and make sure that access is equitable among all the stakeholders involved. So with that, we come to this last activity, actually the second last activity. You can go through this chart on this link as a team or individually and answer the quiz questions. Focus on 2, 5, 6, and read the rest in your free time. So I will put the link in the chat here for you. So please go to this link. It will open up a picture which looks like this. But you will be able to expand. So focus on 2, 5, and 6. And then we have one quiz, which I will activate now. So you need to go to the diagram above and then you will answer these quiz questions. The quiz questions are already available, so you can, while you are solving the quiz, so the first question is, Professor Patel is using generative AI to design this new online course. Which of the following should be the most careful about when relying on AI? And this may have more than one answer. So and you may use the diagram to look at it. And you need to focus on 2, 4, and 6 in the diagram. So read the question properly. Which of the following should be the most careful about when relying on AI? So what you should not do is the question. So we have 31 votes. I'm going to stop this. "36 votes counting." So we'll lock the voting and go to the next question. No. So the questions are separate. So this is pertaining to one of the sections of this diagram here. I think this is related to supporting teaching staff, I think. So we will lock voting, and we'll go to the next one. Or first we'll reveal the answer, right? So AI will teach the class itself, and Professor Patel can go on vacation. So this is something we should not think about AI in this manner. So AI can suggest new exciting teaching methods that enhance learning. AI can automate planning and scheduling, saving him time. AI might provide biased or inaccurate recommendations due to algorithmic limitations. But AI cannot teach the class by itself. And Professor Patel cannot go on a vacation. So that is the answer there. I hope it was clear. So next question now. The next question is now open. So what is the biggest advantage of using AI for educational content? And this pertains to creation. So look at number 6 on that link. It's very small here. That's why I gave you the link so you can expand it. And we will share the answer key later. So don't worry if you mark the wrong answer, and it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. Just think about it. So Professor Jayaraman is using an AI tool to design new learning materials. What is the biggest advantage of using AI for educational content? And there can be more than one answer. So we have 39 votes, and just in view of time, we will lock the voting and reveal the correct answer. So there are 2 correct answers here. The biggest advantage of using AI for educational content is AI can reduce the cost by minimizing the need for outsourcing materials. AI allows for quick content production, saving teachers valuable time. So AI generated content is not 100% perfect. So that is not correct. And AI will teach the students while the professor takes a nap. That cannot happen. All right, so we'll go to the next question, and we'll add these responses to the slides later. So it's the year 2030, and you are an AI-powered assistant. You have Grade-a-thon 3000 is helping you to track student performance. One day it excitedly reports, great news, Johnny has improved in algebra by 35%. So great point, Dr. Iyer. Yes, I totally agree. Yes, so this is, we will lock the voting here and then reveal the answer. So the correct answer, and majority of you said this is helpful. Now I can adjust my teaching approach to focus on the weak spots. So this concludes our activity, and now we have 15 more minutes. So I want to go to something that Dr. Podar really wanted me to kind of focus on. So I'm going to show you a quick study here that I actually presented at the American Medical Informatics Association conference. So we are going to visualize this research explores how social media, government, and media responses shape the public perception during a health crisis. And my co-authors, I want to acknowledge here. So we are studying, what we did is we studied to a platform called Twitter, and now it's now known as X. And let me quickly see if there are any chat messages. Okay. So if you think of any platform, right, it has a source, which is a Twitter or the tweet, the channel, the Twitter, it's now called X, receiver, feedback, environment, context, and interference, right? So right now, with the new changes, they're called an X user, an X post, a repost, a reply. So although the platform has changed a lot, but we studied this not a lot before it changed. So this was during the pandemic, and what did we do? So what we did is called social network analysis. There is a tool called NodeXL which helps you do that. A network is a collection of connections. An edge is a connection between two vertices. And then you can make a social media network. You can use a social media user, a hashtag or image, or and then it analyzes all the comments, likes. So in a Twitter network, a vertex will be a Twitter user. The edge will be whatever conversation is happening. So we are basically analyzing the network of the conversation based on a certain topic. That's a great point. Yes. So we discussed that in equity, Dr. Iyer. I'll bring back the slide later. So moving forward. So why social network analysis, right? So when you see a linear feed, so if you're on any platform like social media, it may be Instagram, it may be X, it may be Facebook, or it may be nowadays Blue Sky. There's widespread popularity and wide audience, but its linear feed is not always helpful. But with social network analysis, you can convert that linear feed into network shapes. So you can have certain shapes which will tell you more about the conversation. So for example, if you have a customer support network, you will see this pattern. If you have a broadcast network, you will see this kind of pattern. If you have clusters, community clusters, you will see little interaction between people. Small communities will form. You can have completely opposite, like red and blue here is shown as completely opposite, and they're not talking to each other. You can have tight crowds. So this tool helps you do that. So what we did was you use this tool. It helps you do network analysis. It collects network metrics, group metrics, vertex metrics. It does the content analysis for you, text analysis, sentiment analysis, top contents, time series analysis, and then it gives you visualization of this sociogram. So the key features are in this, and you can go to this link if you want to learn more about this tool. But the main advantage is automation. What happens is once you create a recipe, which is called a NodeXL recipe, so a recipe can be for a Twitter user network. You just load that recipe and it does the job of collecting the data and analyzing the data. So all the details are on this link. So during the COVID era, India faced a tumultuous challenge, which is called black fungus or mucormycosis. And as you can see, there were a lot of cases at a certain period of time. On May 2021, mucormycosis was quickly classified as a notifiable condition under the Epidemic Diseases Act. So during that time, we studied, exactly at the same time, we were studying X. And what we did is very few studies have shown social media usage to analyze this COVID-associated mucormycosis, which is the black fungus. So we used NodeXL and Twitter to study the media and Indian government's quick reactions between the same time where the cases were peaking. And the government and the media reacted quickly to the outbreak of the COVID-19 associated mucormycosis. And we developed this pattern of conversations. So you see that Sonia Gandhi has put out some letter, and the Narendra Modi government was reacting to it. So there's a lack of amphotericin vials in the mucormycosis cases. So you see basically a real-time interplay of how an opposition party is basically pushing the government in place to do better. So it's a very really great interaction there that you see. So what the keyword we used was mucormycosis, also known as black fungus. And then we wanted to study the link to COVID-19 for public health monitoring. And we had 15,000 Twitter users in our network that we derived. And there were total 30,000 conversations. And we focused on the tweets mentioning mucormycosis and reply or mentions. And then these are just the key metric statistics. A low reciprocated vertex pair ratio just means that there are limited mutual interactions. So this is the entire graph we generate, okay? And it as you can see, it goes all the way till 42 subgroups. So you can find just by the linear feed analyzing, you can find, and using Node Excel, you can find these various subgroups that are talking about certain topics. And then you can go into more details into it. And now you can open your phone and point it to this QR code. Because this figure is very small and it cannot expand here, you can click on this link and go as much deep into that as you want. So just pick up your phone, point to this QR code, and it should take you to a link with the graph. And then when you analyze those subgroups, the various subgroups that we're talking, you can identify the keywords and what is the focus. So in this case, we use ChatGPT to basically look at those conversations and derive the focus. So all this focus that you are seeing has been derived by ChatGPT. So if you scan this QR code, it will take you there. So the political figures and mucormycosis response, regional discussions, local language engagement, the status of cases across states, treatment shortages, health warnings on black fungus during COVID-19, patient stories. We were able to find certain language discussions as well, medical updates from health departments, national statistics and outbreak challenges, government updates on COVID-19 and mucormycosis, awareness campaigns by influencers and advocates, public health alerts, social initiatives, medical professionals sharing treatment guidelines, scarcity of medications, calls for intervention, and so on. So you can identify each of these subgroups. So with that, you can, the last activity for the day is where you can visit the Node Excel graph gallery, and I will put the link in the chat. You can search for your favorite research topic. And try to find any sociograms that you may be interested in. And if you decide to get a license for this tool, there's a student version. You will need this Node Excel guide, which is free. You can just click on this link, and I will put that in the chat as well. So you can go to this page, and I will go visit this page right along with you, so we can check. So it's right there, and you can search your favorite research topic. Maybe you can, if you can, just few of you can just type it in there. I can search for those keywords here to show everyone. So for example, I have searched for mucormycosis. If you search for that, you will come across many sociograms that you can then use for your own research. Financial management. Okay, let's try financial management. Oops. So there are quite a few networks, and you can open and see what those are about. So this is a network from October 24, 2024, and it is about so it is about some topic you will have to deliver. It is, I think, related to France, but you will have to. So there's insurance and risk management. So you see here, somebody has created a sociogram on September 4 about insurance and risk management. We did a study of insurance industries, which was also presented at the PATH conference 2 years ago. So you can search for your favorite keywords and you will be able to find sociograms and download the data also if you want. Yes, so the sociogram is basically what it does is this is the number of the groups is how many subgroups you find is G1, G3, G2. So a lot of people, when they post this, they're not very aware of how to use the tool. So that sociogram may not always make sense. But if you read the social media guide that I posted here, it will give you step-by-step instructions of how to derive a network and how to understand it. So I think with that, we conclude our session. And if you have any questions, I will be in here for answering any questions. Are we good on time? Are we good on time?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. Thank you very much for your kind attention. And you can contact me at my email if you have any questions. I'll put that in the chat as well. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn as well. If you want to learn about any of the tools that we showed. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, with that, would like to start with vote of thanks for the day.
Thank you.
All right. So this is Professor Sonali Shiralkar Tatkar. I would like to extend my heartfelt thank you, sincere gratitude to Dr. Nishant Jain for his insightful session on the usage of AI for continuous research and professional development. So thank you so much for putting light on the socio-economic impact of AI trends in education. Dr. Jain, your expertise has significantly broadened our understanding of how AI is transforming research, education, and professional growth. Very importantly, the practical insights you shared, particularly from the experience in both public health and academics, were incredibly valuable. And I must say, aap aaye, bahar aaye. Your ability to make the session interactive, connecting AI with examples like Rancho, Iron Man, Munna AI, was truly remarkable. Thank you for highlighting that AI cannot replace teachers who will keep themselves updated academically and technologically. We greatly appreciate your time and efforts in guiding us through these thought provoking topics. We are really thankful for the opportunity to learn from your vast knowledge. And very importantly, heartfelt acknowledgement to all the active participants for their engaging questions, insight, and contributions, which made this event more enriching. Once again, thank you so much for making this event session huge success. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Sonali ma'am, with your permission, can I talk? Because after vote of thanks, I know that this is not the time, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, ma'am, you can.
With your
you
permission,
can, you can.
Sir, thank you so much, sir, from all the participants. You made our day really special because, as you mentioned, as Sonali ma'am also mentioned, AI cannot going to replace, because so many days we are hearing AI is going to replace teaching community also, but you made that point very clear. AI is not going to completely replace the teaching community. And you made one more point also, cultural and social aspects also cannot be taught by the AI though. So in those two aspects, human intervention is necessary. So on these aspects, you have enlightened us, and I feel really happy because since so many days we are hearing that AI is going to unemployment, it will increase unemployment in all the sectors. So at least from you, we heard that AI is not going to replace 100%. Maybe somehow it will replace, but not 100%. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable insight. It's
Thank
a
you
great
very much for your
pleasure, sir.
comments.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.